Well, good morning. Left the hostel and we're on our way. We're just walking through Coniston at the moment. One of the honeypot sites in the lakes. Even at this time in the morning, well, we're just about 9 o'clock. It's all a bit busy at the moment. I think the weather's going to be a bit hit or miss today. And the rain's just started. But very comfortable night last night in the hostel, in the dorm room. Excellent hostel as well. Here we are in the heart of Coniston. Anyway, we need to do a bit of route finding just to check exactly where we're going. I think we're going over the bridge, but we'll catch up with you a bit later. As is the way with the lakes, it's 1 second it's pouring, the next second the sun's out. But maybe got about 10 miles to go today. We've been underestimating the distances a little bit, so probably end up being about 12. Lowick Bridge is the place we're going to, I think. But I would carry on down this. Yeah. But we're going to be walking right down the banks of Coniston Water this morning, so that should be quite pleasant. Then the route turns away and we head out over some moorland. Potential to be quite boggy this morning. Smile, you're on camera. Lake District weather summed up. Sun, rain. With any luck, we'll be on the edge of it. Hopefully it'll dump its load on the old man of Coniston up there. But yeah, pretty much typical lakes weather. We're down by the by Coniston Water now as well. We're just peeking through there, so we're about to enter the campsite. Old boathouse. Sounds like the RAF are out to play. Looking right down Coniston Water. Just having a few thoughts as well. I think it was Coniston Water where the novel and subsequently the film, Swallows and Amazons, was set. And what was it? It was set in the 1930s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think it was a contemporary book as well, wasn't it? But could you just imagine nowadays a group of kids finding a boat and just being left to it to sail across a lake like this? And it's something I think that's been lost in the modern world, just that sense of danger and sense of adventure that kids are allowed to go off and do something like that unsupervised. The flip side is that if they're doing that kind of thing supervised, they're not going to drown themselves, but which is a distinct possibility. Yeah, we're living in quite a sort of sanitised world where kids aren't allowed to do things where they could go and potentially hurt themselves, or but in a way it's part of growing up. And I'm not suggesting for a minute that kids should be going out and doing things like base jumping or crazy things like that, but you know, there's a happy medium that where kids should really be, or have the opportunity to roam a bit wild in places like this and explore and have the chance to get in to nature and have a bit of adventure. But anyway, that's just some random thoughts for the morning while the rain's off. I'm not videoing this for laughs at all. I was hoping you were going to do the limbo.
What, underneath?
Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, the the way is blocked.
Soft option.
Yeah. Sorry. Ah, yeah. Oh, at least the rain's gone off a bit. Yeah. Yes, thank you. we've left Coniston Water behind, and we're on Torver Common, so we're heading into quite rough ground, and again another change in the landscape. This is really moorland. Yeah, we've got a wee bridge up here. Oh, couple of nice carvings in the wall here. Yeah. Well, after an unscheduled stop there for various, in inverted comma, reasons, yeah, I won't go into that. We're on our way again onto Torver Common, and just up through the bracken here. This is quite a difficult section to navigate, actually, this. Again, the way marking's a bit sparse, and have to be careful about which path you choose. It's absolutely riddled with footpaths up here, but we're about the halfway mark for the day. There's a small tarn that we'll be passing in a couple of miles. Hope my shoelaces undone. So we'll be passing a small tarn in a couple of miles, which is going to be sort of fairly close to the point at which we turn off for the accommodation for tonight. But again, a total change in character. We've left behind the hills and the mountains, or the big ones anyway, and this is more your sort of traditional moorland. A lot of bracken up here, and here he comes, the phantom farter of the Cumbria way. A bit of a final view of the hills over Coniston, or a first view if you're coming the other way. But it's pretty bleak up here and featureless. The rain keeps coming and going. Yeah, but you get the feeling now that you're kind of heading out the Lake District. Or what's best known as a Lake District anyway. Saw a small group of folk as we crossed the road there, but nobody else so far. It's possible we'll see a few folk maybe around the halfway mark from Ulverston, just before we leave the path. This will be interesting to see if there are any others walking the Cumbria way today. But yeah, it's I think the chances of doing this whole section dry are pretty slim. It's all wide open spaces now, but yeah, sun's out over Coniston, old man. But it's now very much easier walking this lovely grassy path here. It's so nice underfoot, not to be walking on rocks. Makes such a difference in terms of how quickly we can walk and just how much pain you're in. But anyway, plenty of river crossings up here and mud to wade through as well. I'm just going to experiment a little bit with taking some video going up here through this bracken. Some of it's nearly head height. It's absolutely sodden with water from the rain. So as soon as you walk through it, it's not so bad upper half. I've got my waterproof jacket on, but my trousers are just getting utterly sodden at the moment. Well, what we're looking at now is what was the Tarn. The last time we were up here, this was just open water. But for some reason it's really overgrown. There's still little patches of open water, but it seems to have been covered by grass, heather. I suppose it's turning into a bog, but in just 12 years that's quite a surprise, going from completely open water to well, that's almost completely covered in vegetation. And if you didn't know better, you wouldn't actually realise it's there. We're a little bit clear of the bracken now as well, so my trousers are dried out, which is good. But yeah, that's quite something. Well, I think it's safe to say I was talking utter bollocks. As you can see, we have a tarn in front of us, and this is one I was thinking of. But I'm sure that one down there had been a body of water as well. But yeah, there we go. I think my head's been a bit pickled on this walk. There's a few hardy people out wild swimming in this at the moment. Braver constitutions than I have. But, quite an idyllic spot, really is. The heather looks fantastic, just the purple out on the hill there. But, and the Coniston Fells in the background. Just climbed up from the Tarn there, and over the brow of the hill, and we've got yet another change of landscape in front of us. We're not quite there yet, but you can probably just see ahead of us all the patchwork of fields, the grassland. Everything's becoming a bit more cultivated than rather than the sort of rough grassland, heathland, moorland that we're walking through at the moment. Also, I don't know whether you'll be able to pick it out there, but just in the gap in the hills you can see Morecambe Bay, so we can see the final destination, or certainly the coast where we'll be finishing. Ulverston's just hidden by the hills there, so not too far away. I think it's about 7 miles tomorrow we've got into Ulverston, once we finish the day. So, but it's nice to be able to see that for a change. We've never had a good day on this section of the walk, so and the end is remarkably spectacular. It finishes with quite a steep drop into Ulverston, so we should hopefully, if the weather's good tomorrow, get a good view over the town. How's this daft thing just popped out the bracken? Kind of given up trying to work out where we are up here. The place is absolutely riddled with paths, no way markers, so we're taking the most worn line, coming out on this road, so that should give us an idea of exactly where we are. But even if we have come the wrong way, it's not too bad. Maybe got a couple of miles left to Lowick Bridge, and once again I think I'll be quite glad to get into the accommodation tonight, and we should be a bit more comfortable because it's a pub rather than a hostel. It's a proper bed and all that. Well, a bit of a final look back at the rough and craggy and wild landscape that is the heart of the Lake District. And we've just come through the wall there, and the landscape is totally different. It's quite literally the grass is greener here, and it's a much softer landscape. Fields with walls. I think there's even some hedges about. So yeah, it's the signal that we're really on the last leg to Ulverston. the change in the landscape so quickly is just incredible, but this is delightful. It really is. Just got a real feeling of the Yorkshire and Derbyshire Dales here. Very similar. Well, it is a very similar landscape, I suppose, but in front of us the real ruggedness of the Coniston Fells and the Langdales are just gone, and the landscape's so much more rolling. Really is lovely. Closing in on our stop for the evening, and we've been walking down this road for quite a while. Just a few metres back there, the official route off went up over the hill there, but we're walking down this. There should be a footpath on our left fairly shortly. It's just a very pleasant sort of sunken lane, and it's a bit more reminiscent of the lanes in Devon and Cornwall. High hedges on either side, but yeah, glad to get finished. It's been another good day. The weather's been pretty decent for the most part, apart from maybe a bit of rain early on, so we'll see what tomorrow brings, but the feet are beginning to hurt somewhat.
I'll come over again. That is over.
These ones are a bit better.
Yeah, I had to sit on the top of
Did
the
you?
last one.
This is a lovely bit of woodland path, nice and soft underfoot. And as this is beginning to get into civilization. I think we've arrived. Now, these are the devil's spawn. Well, we've arrived and it's looking a bit locked up.